2.5, literal equations and formulas. Literal equations are equations that have two or more variables. A lot of times these will be just simply formulas. Often they will have no numbers at all in the problem. You're just going to manipulate the formula to solve for a particular variable. You'll use this a lot in science classes, and you'll use it when we solve for y, when we start graphing in Algebra 1. You'll use it again in Algebra 2. So it's a real helpful thing to know how to be able to manipulate things for a certain variable. We will be using the same solving process that we use when we solve equations. So we'll often end up with just a simplified expression. In other words, it won't be solved for any numerical value. Sometimes it's just a simplified expression. But we can rewrite formulas to solve these real-world problems. So for example, V equals LWH, that's volume equals length, width times height. That is an actual formula for the volume of a rectangular prism. We talk about that a lot in geometry. We're going to solve that particular one for H, which means we want everything away from H on that same side. So again, just like we were doing before, you want to focus on the side where the H is, move everything away from it. This just happens to be the formula for that volume of a 3D object. So length, width, and height are all being multiplied together right now in this formula.
Mr. Boone, please call the front office.
So how do we undo multiplication? We divide. So if I have the volume is equal to length, width, and height, and I want to solve for H, I recommend that you circle the letter that you're solving for. And if you'll notice right now it's all being multiplied, I can divide by LW all at one time. So that makes this go away over here, makes it 1. Volume is equal to, volume is divided by LW, that's equal to the height. Okay, that's all we're going to do. Let's say that you have a rectangular package with a volume of 120 cubic inches. The length of the package is 6 and the width is 4. What is the height? Well, now that you have it solved for H, it's really easy to plug those numbers in and solve it. If the volume is 120, that's divided by length times width. The length is 6 inches. The width is 4. Length times width, so that's 6 times 4, which is 24. So that becomes 120 over divided by 24. And when you plug that in and divide, you will get 5, which means the height is 5 inches. Okay, it's very, very simple. Each one of these problems will be a little different. Now, let me show you one problem that seems to come up a lot. Area is equal to 1/2 base times height. This is the area of a triangle. Okay, you will be talking about that a lot in geometry. Okay, and they say on this one, let's say solve for B. Okay? We want to focus on the side where the B is and circle it. Everything else needs to move. Alright, so let's move the H first because all of this is multiplication, but let's move the H first, it's easiest. I'm going to divide by H and divide by H. So now I simply have A divided by H is equal to 1/2 B. Okay? Now, we have this situation where we have a 1/2 B. We could also have written this like this. Area is over divided by H is equal to B divided by 2. That is the same thing as 1/2.
Please pardon this interruption.
Okay?
Before announcement, we have Ms. Springer's online dual government class.
Okay,
Needs
if
to
you
get
want
her
to get
books
rid of
from
this,
Mr. Whitlow.
it's divided by 2. We multiply both sides by 2. Okay, multiplying both sides by 2. And that'll give us 2A divided by H equals B. That will be our final answer. Now, if you wanted to from over here, you could flip and multiply, take the reciprocal, which would have been, whoops, 2 divided by 1, and multiply that on both sides. You still would get 2a divided by h equals, okay? All right, so watch those. You will see this particular problem on your SOL. It may be not area of the triangle, it could be some other thing where there is a fraction or something in front. Okay, you will have occasionally have a number involved in your little equations also. If you have any questions, come see me. We're going to practice on this for a couple days, and I will see you in class.